What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Sweat It Out podcast. Today we have a special guest. We have a venture capitalist, entrepreneur. We have a junior NBA ambassador. On top of that, he's getting ready to be a certified trainer as well.
Hey.
And he is an NBA player for the Detroit Pistons. Help me welcome Langston Galloway. What's up, my brother? How you been?
Great. How you doing?
Good. I think I think I need to like flex my biceps or something so I don't look so small compared to you, man.
So how you been, man?
Been great. How about you guys?
Pretty good, man. Just down here in Miami grinding, trying to watch some of these NBA finals, hopefully cheer on the Heat. See how they do the next couple of games.
Unfortunate last night with two injuries, man. That's man.
It's tough to come back. We were talking
about that.
Yeah, it's tough to come back when players like, Dragic and Bam go out. I mean, they're pretty pivotal people.
And then Jimmy rolled that ankle
pivotal
too.
pieces.
So
Yep.
We'll have to see what's the game plan now. But look, this guy Nunn came in and stepped up at the end, so at least that's some hope, for him coming back in that pivotal role to be able to cover for Dragic.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need guys right now to step up any way possible. It's next man up mentality. That's how it goes.
Speaking on that, how do you get yourself mentally prepared when injuries occur and you have to step up and you have to take on a more pivotal role on the team? How do you go about getting yourself prepared for that?
I think the biggest thing for so many professional athletes is that when you're in predicaments where, hey, you might be playing 1 minute and then maybe you might get injured or maybe, you just fall out of the lineup. It might be just a bad stretch over the week or something like that. You continue to do the same thing. You don't change up your game plan. You don't change up your routine, nothing like that, because that's just the kind of the numbers and just how things work out sometimes. And like you just mentioned with Nunn, it's like same thing. It's like he had a heck of a year, just regular season. He got COVID. Those 2 week span kind of threw him off his rhythm. Kind of got out of rotation, and then now this is his opportunity to get back in rotation. Just go out there. Been doing probably the same thing, working out every day. Probably playing a little 1-on-1, 2-on-2 with the coaches. Just staying mentally ready, prepared, locked in, and then hey, look, when your opportunity calls, you got to be ready to step into it. You don't get many of those.
Yeah, that's right. No, 100%. And I want to ask you, just because I know we mentioned it in the intro and off podcast, you mentioned to me that you're in the process of getting your NASM certification. Knowing that and learning the NASM book and studying that and understanding, like you said, I know you've working with some clients now too. Would you say that this has helped you with your performance, with your training to now be able to step back into the basketball game at a higher level, understanding the body more, the training aspects of it?
I think it really helps out when I'm trying to take care of my body first and foremost, because I can kind of understand, hey, look, if this isn't firing and I have to do something specifically to make it fire, like being able to trigger something else in my body that might not be working at that time. So those are probably the biggest keys that I've kind of focused in on, is that I'm at home now and I'm able to have a gym that I've set up personally for me and my wife. And it's like, hey, look, it's perfect where I know how to train myself. I know how to train and put myself through a great workout. But at the same time, too, it's like I have to worry about training her as well. And then when I get the other clients, then I got to figure out their bodies and how they move. But I've had some great clients and everybody works hard. So that's the first and foremost. Like if you don't work hard, it's hard to work with somebody. But everybody I've had has worked really hard. So it's been great.
That's awesome, man. No better feeling than knowing that your client's going to show up and bust their ass, right? I want to know, exactly. What do you have in that home gym? What type of equipment you got in there?
So I have, I literally just got a Kaiser machine with the arms. I got that machine.
That's big in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kaiser's really big. So big shout out to Kaiser, man. They've been taking care of me. I got a hip runner as well. It's like a speed runner, they call it, I guess. I've also gotten True Former, basically like it's a treadmill that you run with your own power. You don't plug it up or anything like that. It's
awesome.
just like
Those are great.
it goes on your speed. So big shout out to them as well. Then I have two Pilates machines for me and my wife. We're big into Pilates, so that's huge. I just got a PRX little like rack for my wall, so I can put it up, take it down, use it whenever I need to. And there's a ton of other stuff like dumbbells, balls, all different things in there. So I have a ton of equipment, and I'm putting it all to use. That's for sure. Putting it all to use.
Josh, what do you have here in your apartment?
Oh, I got everything, man. I got everything. I got maces, I got clubs, I got bells, I got medicine balls, sandbags, you name it, I got it, man. I'm a man with many toys.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah. So I gotta ask you, man. Now that you're experiencing this, now that you're understanding the way the body operates, now that you're understanding the way training goes, do you ever go now and kind of like see how your teammates or see how some of your friends in the NBA or athletes, do you pay attention to their movement, how they're doing things, and how does that go? Do you ever approach them? Do you ever give them tips? Do you ever like talk to them about it?
Hey man, your lat pull down is shit. Let me help fix that for you.
You know what? I haven't talked to anybody just because we have like whenever I'm with other athletes in that kind of spectrum, it's always like strength and conditioning coaches and PTs and whatnot around. So I really never have a chance to. But in the off season, I mean, if a guy really wants to work out or like use the gym and needs advice, hey, that's perfect. I mean, they can always come and use the gym, and I'm always trying to help and give guidance. I don't want to put a damper on what they're doing, because that's not how you approach anybody, especially if but later on down the road, like if they say, hey, look, I need you to work me out here and there, it's like that's a whole different ball game. So just try to keep everybody at a distance, but at the same time too, it's like, hey, if they ever ask for advice, hey, I give them advice and keep moving.
That's truly commendable, man. I mean, to be able to extend that offer to people, I think is extremely valuable in itself. How does your training look in season compared to off season?
Off season, it's a little bit more strenuous when it comes to like the power, different loads. I'm not trying to like kill my leg. Well, I'm trying to kill my legs in the off season, but then in the on season, I'm more working on stability, balance. I'm working on core. I'm still working on strength, but I'm not working on as much power. If you can kind of understand that. So
right.
That's my biggest thing that I've kind of like focused on. I normally I tell a lot of people, it's like I always lifted the day of the game. So like morning, wake up, go get some breakfast in first and foremost, then go lift, then we go to shoot around, and I relax for the rest of the day. But I recently added, when we play the game, now after the game I lift as well, so I'm able to hit my body twice in one day, like a cool down lift.
Okay.
And it's been really, really effective. It's worked out perfect for me.
Now, yeah, I used to train athletes at Syracuse and at FAU, and when I was at Florida Atlantic, my boss, the head strength coach there, used to be with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he kind of ran me down how they went through their like game day rituals and what, when he described like how players got their game day lift in, or if they weren't going to be in the rotation, how they would lift. And he kind of had it in like a tiered approach, right? So if you were playing a shit ton of minutes, then you really didn't really have to do a lot of training. Again, kind of a lot more recovery work, stability work. And if you weren't seeing a ton of minutes, then you really got after it. Is that how it is in the NBA, or at least with the Pistons, or how do you guys approach that in-season training?
Yeah, most guys, depending on, like you said, injuries or whatever happened, most of those guys go pretty hard in the weight room and also on the court as well. Like if they're trying to come back and show that, hey, I'm healthy again, you really have to, pick it up a whole nother level to make sure you're in game shape, make sure you're able to go out there and perform whatever job you have to, whatever position that is. But for me, it's crazy because I'm not saying a huge competitor when it comes to the weight room. I mean, I'm a huge competitor in an overall stance, but I go in the weight room and I try to like really, attack the weight room. I try to go out there. I'm really hitting whatever I need to hit the areas I need to hit. I'm gonna hit them hard, and then I'm gonna get out of there. And it's never like a long hour-long lift. I normally get in 15, 20 minutes, real hard, get a good sweat, and then get out of there. So that's always how my in-season lifts are, and especially at this point now in my career, I'm going on year 7, so it's like I'm pretty established on where my core, my body is, and how now it's just building on top of what I've already kind of set the basis at.
I love that. So I want to go back and ask you, what made you want to explore the training realm? What got you into that? What piqued that interest? Like, what moment in your life did you say, you know what, I need to enter this realm? I need to explore it. Was it more for you at first, or was it because you did have interest to work with people down the road?
You know what? It's crazy because I've always had an interest of just like learning about the body. So that was number one. I love like get a massage, or I don't know, I might be banged up, and then the physical therapist or our trainer saying, hey, look, this is what's wrong. Like, we need to do this X, Y, and Z to make sure you're good. And I'm like, okay, all right, great. Like, and then I would always remember that. And then they later on down the road, they're like, oh man, we didn't think you would, even pick that up. And I'm like, yeah, now I really want to know how my body works and reacts to different things. So that was number one. Number two, one of my friends, he actually approached me about the class, about being a trainer, and he had already been training people for the last like 2 or 3 years, but he still had another job. He had his main job that he was doing, but this was kind of like his side hustle that he was, training people. And he mentioned me like, hey, yeah, I want to take this class, and I want to be certified and whatnot. And I approached him and was like, hey, well, look, if you're gonna do it, I might as well do it with you, and then that way, we'll be in it together. And so we've been along this journey, the last. Well, I'm gonna say pretty much all of COVID, this COVID quarantine. So
It's time to take advantage of that.
Yeah. We had to take advantage of it. And it's been a blessing. Me and one of my brothers. So it's cool to go through something with somebody that you really care about. And then thirdly, then we got into like a mindset of, well, if we finish this class, maybe we should try to like open up a gym or something like that in the area of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so slowly but surely, like we've been kind of like looking at different gyms or different buildings. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. We haven't found any gyms because nothing's really open right now, but just buildings. And it's been a few that's intrigued us, but nothing that's like, hey, we're solid, we're gonna stick with this and gonna go with it. So it's a great process to do something with one of your friends and see how it can kind of take off from there.
That's truly amazing because and I wanted to kind of pick your brain on this a little bit, because the fact that you're taking a step with your friend right now during a time like this where most gym owners are kind of like, what's going to happen? What am I going to do? I've taken a huge hit, and you're taking a risk of opening up a gym during some time like this. Obviously there's an unknown coming out of this time period, especially for gym owners, and you're an entrepreneur yourself as well. So going into this, what's your game plan? How is that going to look? And, what is your mindset going to open this gym and in the preparation of it during this time, understanding that things are still a little shaky?
Yeah, now the biggest mindset going into the gym idea was, first and foremost, how can I help the community? And, everything with what's going on right now, like, yeah, I understand that's going on. But at the same time, too, it's like there's a need in the area that we're trying to go. There's a need for fitness, and especially to give a lot of opportunity in the area that we want to go. And so I was like, hey, look, I have a foundation, the Langston Galloway Foundation, which is a 501c3, and then also too, this idea of having a gym and being able to make it a resource for so many kids, like being able to, in the long run, be able to have them come to the gym, work out, doing schooling, being able to give them the resources to do recovery, just do things that they've never experienced. So that was my biggest thing with like the back end of how we can kind of make this into something that, you know, is generational, that it'll change a lot of lives down the road. So it's a start, and I just want to continue to just keep this thing rolling, and with anybody that can help, definitely.
Beautiful.
That's absolutely incredible, man. I mean, I can speak from personal experience, I'm sure Mendez would agree with me. You know, if it weren't for people like you opening up facilities, or, you know, starting after school programs, or, you know, helping underprivileged kids. I come from a very low income background in upstate New York myself. If it weren't for those programs and people like you doing the things that you're trying to do within your community, I know I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today, you know, because of those people that helped me grow and helped me understand the right way to do things and the wrong way to do things. I was able to really excel. So, you know, I'm pretty excited to kind of see where things go for you in that area, man. And I know that in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area, I'm sure a ton of people are as well. Do you find that there is a real hunger, like a real, you know, energy around training and health down in that part of Louisiana, or is it something that people are still a little misguided on?
No, I think it's on the uprise right now. A lot of people down here, I'll say they're kind of like behind when it comes to like that fitness spectrum, but when it comes to like watching everything on TV and understanding what's going on, everybody becomes, you know, a little nervous and just paranoid. So that's where I feel like this might be the perfect, you know, pivot for us to kind of go into that spectrum and offer these things to the community, because it would really boost a lot of people's, you know, their interest, their just opportunity to get out and do just something that, you know, benefit them in the long run. So that's our biggest thing, is like a lot of kids, especially kids too. A lot of kids are sitting at home right now, or they're going to school virtually, or they might be going to school half a day every day or whatever it might be. And they're not getting the same, you know, recess or the same opportunity to do anything right now. Yep. So it's like, hey, this might be a perfect opportunity to do that.
That's a big point, you know, and you're seeing a lot of schools now are actually even taking away recess, which is pretty sad.
Unbelievable.
It's really
it's my favorite time.
Oh, it was always my favorite time.
Man,
I'd go to 7 gym classes a day. Any study hall I had, I was in there.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it was just that time to reset. It was that time to just like get all your energy out, especially when you're a kid. You need that, man. Like, you want to be able to concentrate on your math test or that math subject or whatever, you know, a subject that you're not that great at, you know, or you're having a challenge on. That really helps you to just like, all right, cool. Now I can come back in here. My mind is clean. Let me sit down and let me concentrate.
Is that what recess was for? I was just trying to body kids out on the court.
Hey, look, my biggest thing during recess was capture the flag. When we played capture the flag, I was like, oh yeah, I was a speedster. I thought we were gonna say
capture
around.
The girls. I don't know. That's what I used to play.
When did you really see that growth spurt in you know, your adolescence? When did you know, because so often I hear from athletes, you know, and they're like, oh, you know, I was like 5'10" until, you know, 11th grade, and then I grew 1.5 feet, and now, you know, I can play college basketball. Did you have something like that, or were you always kind of like a big kid?
No, I kind of like just steady, like just slow and steady, just like kind of just continue to get taller and taller as I went along. And then by the time I got to the 9th grade, I think I was like 6'1". But I was like the shortest kid amongst my friends for the longest, because I don't know, it's weird. Like when we were coming through, I'm not saying it was that long ago, nothing like that, but it just like, I felt like everybody we played against, or everybody that was around us was like either way taller than us, or it was just like everybody was the same height. It was crazy. But like the kids nowadays are a little like so much shorter. So I'm like, wow, like it's such a difference now, how like the time has changed a little bit.
I think too, like another big factor, and it goes back to like the whole recess thing. Like I just feel like kids nowadays aren't just as active as they used to. And I was reading some sports surveys like for basketball, football, and other sports, that they're even seeing a decrease in like the production of young kids in schools, the attendance, the actual ability to play, you know, and obviously right now, I don't think you're going to see a huge shift going pro yet. I think there's obviously sports is huge, but who knows if this continues on, you know, it leaves me thinking, what is going to happen down the road if these kids, if this is the trend you're already seeing in some middle schools and high schools, less activity, less attendance, less productivity from the kids. Like I was even hearing another thing, like some, like you were saying, and the, like being shorter or weaker, you know, lower levels of testosterone, and just things that are like, man, why is a child having these problems, you know, or
Yep.
early on, like why don't they want to go outside and play, and why don't they want to do this? And it's a lot has to do with what's going on today, the social media, the gaming, the this, you know, being at home, staying at home, locked in the house, and then being unmotivated to go outside and do anything. Um, with that being said, how would you tackle a situation like that, especially that you're going to be working with kids and focusing with that in your community? What would be a solution to be able to get more of these kids out of the house, to be able to make them realize the importance of activity, and to be able to also as well save, you know, the sports community? Because at the end of the day, you know, sports players will start from being a child as well.
Yeah, I think that for my kind of knowledge, and it's crazy to say, it's like from what I've read, it's like, you know, a lot of kids nowadays or their parents think like, hey, look, we need to specialize them in a specific sport, and it's like, no, you gotta try everything. You gotta do everything
I'm
for the
glad you
kid.
brought that
I'm
up.
the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single sport, like let them try it out. Like see, hey, does he like it? Does he not like it? Or he or she, whatever that might be. And it's like then they can base it off of that. Like, hey, look, they love soccer. Wow, okay, all right, let's keep them in soccer for a little bit longer. Okay, all right, I like basketball. You know, it gives kids another opportunity. So that's my biggest thing is like, especially me being such a you know, a pivotal piece in the community. I really want to just get the kids the opportunity, you know, to train with a professional athlete. Like that's my biggest like pull. It's like one day it's like, you know, the gym's up and running, might be doing basketball. Then the next day, hey, look, let's go outside. Let's go play catch or something like that. Let's go play football. And then, you know, then we'll bring in, I was talking to my boy, I was like, we could bring in, you know, a soccer coach. We could bring in a tennis, you know, just bringing in different professional athletes that we know or maybe that we run into and say, hey, look, this is your opportunity for you to just, you know, either put yourself in front of kids or for you to bring more kids around us that, you know, that can see what we're doing. So
It's awesome.
that's my biggest thing.
Well, if you need if you need something for running, definitely don't bring Josh in
Yeah,
here.
no, I'm not. Sprints I can handle every once in a while. Long distance running, you'd be better off finding someone else.
Look, I hope. Oh, look, we need somebody that's had burners. I don't know if you have burners or not, Josh. I don't know.
Hey, listen, I'm sneaky quick. You know, I look like I'd be real slow, but I can turn it on when I have to. If I'm running next to someone, it's on. You know, I get those competitive juices going, and
that's all you need.
And
that's
it's
all you
over.
need. Yeah.
You know, listen, you only have to beat someone by this much.
That's it.
You know, that's all that matters.
That's
a win
it.
is a win.
Yep.
So, you know, seeing how you're based in Louisiana but playing in Detroit, do you see a difference between the communities there in terms of health and how people go about things? I mean, obviously in Detroit, it's extremely cold in the wintertime. The snow is outrageous. Louisiana, a little bit easier for you to get outside. I'm sure it still gets a little cold from time to time. But how do you handle the differences in the communities that you're working with?
Well, with the communities here in Baton Rouge, I can only speak for Baton Rouge right now. The biggest thing is like the opportunities. Like a lot of kids, like they go to a specific school or go to a specific, I don't know, gym that they play at. Right now, they can't do that because most schools are either not allowing kids to go play at a specific school or gym because, hey, COVID's going on. We got to restrict everything like that. And then when you go to Detroit, it's like they want the kids to get out. They want the kids to go and play in the different gyms and get those opportunities to play against whoever it might be. And so that's what's so similar in both cities. Like both cities, they like kids love to go outside and play, but it's like, you know, the only difference is that Louisiana, you can go outside almost year round, but then Detroit, you have to stay inside once it gets to probably around this time right now, October, starts getting cold outside. You see less and less kids going outside, and then now it's more inside. Everything's gonna be, but right now it's just everything's kind of thrown for a loop right now. So we've me and my wife with our foundation, we've just tried to find just new ways to just try to be innovative and do things inside. We partnered with a couple of programs to just do, just some activities inside and see what you can do. But we just got to continue to do it. We can't let these kids fall by the wayside.
We definitely would love to support you on any of your foundations and anything you have going on, especially in the health and wellness space, especially with kids, which I just strongly feel it's needed more and more because it is our future. We got to get those kids off of 2K and Madden and bring it to the real life. Go play basketball and football outside. Don't play it in the gaming world, and
Right.
Bring some more of that, the juices flowing, get them excited, make them understand the importance of it. When you can make it fun and have them try out all these different sports and see which one's really for them. I think that's a big, important point that you brought up because it is true. A lot of parents, try to relive their dream, their career that they never were able to accomplish because of an injury or because something, and they try to relive it through their child, and they're doing them harm by forcing them to play a sport. And then later on, some of these kids fall halfway through, they're depressed, or they may go to a far level and then they end up quitting, when they get there because that wasn't what they really wanted to do. And they were just being forced and they start creating an envy relationship with their parents. And you see that happen pretty often.
Yep, absolutely.
How do you have children or your own? You do?
Yeah, I have a son. I have a son. He's 2.
Okay.
I have a little one. She's 18 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How do you, with your son being so young, obviously it's a tremendous time for them, in their development to be outside, to be playing, to be crawling and walking and doing all of these things. How do you make sure that you're, scheduling in with your busy schedule, right? How do you make sure to make time to get your son outside, to get him playing?
Yeah, so my son actually, which is great in Baton Rouge, is like the kind of like is clearing up with everything that's going on, and it's a little bit safer to go out, and he's able to go to a school right now and just interact with other kids, which is great. But I know that's only gonna go so far. Like they can't do as much as they will want to do with all the kids. So I'm not saying I've made it my priority or anything like that, but me and my son, we go like on he rides he has a little glide bike that teaches kids how to get their balance and whatnot. And so we'll walk around the neighborhood. Well, I'll walk around the neighborhood, let him get on his bike, and we'll just go for 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, and we'll go for however long until he gets tired, and then say, hey, look, let's go right back home. So normally every day evening time when it gets a little cool outside, we'll go and ride, and he loves it. So I just try to make that a daily routine, and we have like a slide and swing in the backyard too. So it's just trying to keep him active and keeping him just seeing. Well, our biggest thing is letting him see us work out. Like me and my wife work out,
Sure.
but we work out sometimes too early. Sometimes when I am playing, like he's understanding that I am playing on the court now, so he understands that perspective. But
must be
when I'm
exciting
up
for
close
him to see that.
exactly
Go to games and
yeah,
see you killing it out there.
it's
Must be really
huge.
cool.
It's huge. It goes a long way because mentally they can like he correlates anything with basketball. He correlates that with me. Like he'll look on TV and say, hey, look, Daddy, that's you. I'm like, that's not me, man. That's somebody else playing. But he just correlates that, so he understands that's what I do, and that's my passion. So it's great to see.
Awesome. I kind of want to dive back into the foundation, because we both really pride ourselves on getting out in the Miami community and helping, especially underprivileged kids. There's obviously a couple areas here in Miami where, it can be difficult for kids to get outside, to get around quality coaches and get around people who can be quality mentors for them. What was it that made you want to start your foundation in the first place, and how did you go about getting the foundation going?
Yeah, so the Langston Galloway Foundation, me and my wife, we've had partners before we started the foundation. Actually, we partnered with like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, Big Buddy, what's it, Big Buddy, Big Sister? I think that's what it is. But either way, we've just partnered with them to start off. And then we ran into an issue where people wanted to donate towards us instead of donating towards these programs. And it kind of became an issue where it's like, well, we don't have a foundation yet, like officially formed. And so then me and my wife applied for a 501c3, and then we got that. And so our first thing was like, all right, we had to find out, hey, what is our mission going to be? What's going to be the main thing that we're going to focus in on? So the biggest thing is me and my wife both are student athletes. We went to college, both have degrees. She has a master's. I have 2 degrees from St. Joe's, sports marketing and communications. So
Amazing.
Did she go to St. Joe's too?
No. She went to Loyola in New Orleans and then got a master's from Tulane.
It's a great school.
Yeah.
Great school. Both great schools. I love Loyola and Tulane. Been there a couple times. Amazing party schools.
Yeah, amazing. She conquered all that she had to do down there, and then once she was done with that, that's when we kind of like started thinking outside the box. Like, hey, what are we gonna focus in on? And so, us both being student athletes, she played volleyball, I played basketball. So, we said, hey, look, let's focus in on student athletes first and foremost, and then go into health, well-being, and just that kind of like mental aspect, mental wellness. And so those are 3 big areas that, a lot of people don't take time to focus in on and really, put in the repertoire every single day. So that's what we really focus in on every single student, every single, program that we're a part of. That's our main philosophy and everything we try to conquer.
That is truly key, and you hit it spot on, because those are a lot of areas that are not talked about or are missed out, and definitely need a lot of attention, especially when you're a young student athlete. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to deal with, and being able to go through that and have the support and a foundation to back them up, I think it's truly amazing. I wanted to ask you, how big are you guys trying to plan to grow this foundation? Is it something you're going to move around through the country? Are we going to see you possibly here in Miami?
Would love that. Would love that. And any way we can help facilitate that'd be it'd be our honor.
Yeah, we're moving slowly but surely. We're just trying to crawl before we walk. But right now we're just touching Baton Rouge and Detroit right now, and then or whatever city I'm playing in, and we just go from there. So we're just expanding our wings just a little bit by piece, and once we conquer one city, we go to the next or next state, and then keep growing.
Now, do you usually do like monthly events for your foundation, or how do you go about getting out in the community and helping out?
Yeah, so we basically just try to pick and choose like what's specifically the need right now. Like right now, we just had a major hurricane down here in Louisiana and Lake Charles, so we actually have a donation and an event tomorrow that we're gonna go out to Lake Charles and get on the ground and try to help out as best we can, because with a hurricane, it's like you hear about it one day and then it's going off the news, and then everybody forgets.
So yeah, true. Yeah, we know all about hurricanes.
Yeah, I'm about to say Miami. You know about hurricanes. Yeah.
Yeah. How are things in the area? Are things starting to get repaired? I mean, it was from the news. It looked very, very devastating. So.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, it's going to take a while. It's so funny because like the gym aspect is like, I was talking to one guy that does like architecture, and he was like, yeah, man, like it's so many buildings that were not up to code and just they just fell apart. They just the wind just knocked them down. So it's like, wow, like that's crazy. But that's a good thing to understand and teach me while I'm going through this gym process.
Yeah, they when Hurricane Andrew happened down here, was that 2005?
Wait, Hurricane Andrew?
Yeah,
that was 92.
92.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I know. After that, which one was in 95?
Katrina.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know after that major Hurricane Andrew
that
came
went
through.
to New Orleans.
Yeah,
no, the one that came through here though. That was Andrew, right?
No, Andrew was 92. Katrina went. We
they
got some
both
of it, and then it went to
right.
Yeah,
well, I know. I'm pretty sure after Hurricane Andrew, they made like some significant changes in how you're even able to build buildings down here for that exact reason, right? Like has to be above a certain level. Yep, all that stuff. So, if you ever need, I know Mendes has a couple of connections too. If you ever need some advice on that, we'd be more than happy to connect you.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it sounds like you're doing amazing things there in your community, man. And, you know, it's something to really be prideful about because, you know, as I stated earlier, I don't think either of us would be here if it weren't for people like you helping out in the community, helping those young kids.
It's very true,
No
man.
doubt.
Like, and the same thing goes, like, being able to, you know, look up to as a child. Me being a child, I remember when I would look up to other, athletes and players and see some of the things they would do and being able to attend those things and those foundations and those places that you can go to have fun, learn, grow. It really does leave an impact as a, for you as a child, and it gives you hope in certain areas that you might be lacking something in, and it does remind you of that push that you need to create to be able to get to where you want to be. And I'm telling you, man, like the more there is out there, like Josh said, it just really lays the ground for a lot of young kids. And I'm also sure that there's a lot of teammates of yours too that back you up with your foundation and help you and do things. And it's wonderful, man. It's truly wonderful. And I do feel that more of that is needed, especially during times like now where, you're seeing a lot of confusion. You're even hearing, like, it's sad, like, kids who I think there was a few kids who committed suicide because of depression during COVID, stuff like that. And it is troubling. It is troubling. And there's definitely needs to be a stop on that, where there's so much going on that sometimes we do forget about those other problems that are
Hmm.
in the mix. And I think it's something that we definitely need to still continue paying attention, because the children are the people of the future.
Exactly.
How do you approach your own mental health? Like, you know, for me personally, I know I've talked to a therapist for many years now since I was a child, and it's been tremendous for me to just be able to, you know, voice the things that have been going on in my day or in my week, and have someone who, you know, is kind of on the outside looking in, giving me a little more perspective. How do you take care of your mental health? Do you focus on meditation, or are there specific techniques that you use to kind of bring some sort of clarity and perspective to your life?
Yeah, no, I definitely do some conversations because each team in NBA has like a therapist that like travels,
Okay.
does a lot of mental awareness and whatnot for every single player. So we have a great specialist that's there. I actually like um, uh, hired one as well that added some bonus benefits to me. So it's been great. It's been great. Talking and bouncing ideas off of a therapist and somebody that can really help out in the long run.
And I think it's so important, you know, that athletes as successful as you are doing these things and freely talking about them, man, because it is really difficult for a lot of people to talk about the traumas or the tribulations that they're going through in their lives. uh you know, and to hear you talk about the fact that, you know, you're being proactive not only in the NBA but also with the things that you have going on in your personal life, like taking it that next step further, is tremendously impactful. And I know a lot of people are going to you know, hopefully will start understanding that it's okay, you know, it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to like go through some real shit in life. Everyone does. It really comes down to like, how do you process that and how do you bounce back from that? So
Exactly.
I thank you for sharing that with us, man. It
Sure.
was awesome.
I wanted to ask you too, hearing that with the whole, dealing with these issues and the mindset and some of those, things that can, present themselves. Being in the NBA and having been in college as an athlete and a student, where did you feel, or currently do you feel you have more pressure in the NBA mindset wise, dealing with certain issues, more meditation, or did you feel that in college as a student there was more of that presenting itself in your life?
Um, I probably would say it's different awarenesses really, because when you go back to college, it was mostly like you had to worry about the stress of like taking care of school or balancing your time management. You want to hang out with your friends and you want to work out, and then you want
Hmm.
to do extra curricular activities, and then you go to the pros, and then it's not all about the time management. Yeah, I mean that's a part of it, but it's like it's a job, but it's not really a job. If you kind of understand, it's like a lot of people say, man, like, you must work out all day, and it's like, nah, that's not what you do. You can't work out all
Right.
day. You work
No.
out specific times. Like you say, I work out early in the morning, work out in the afternoon, work out at night. Like but you have to be specific and strategic with how you mentally approach everything, and being able to say, hey, look, do I want to take my game to another level? Do I, feel like, hey, look, maybe I, take a step back and rest today. It's a lot of different things when it comes to that. And so it's different, just, mental things that you have to worry about. But like I said, for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it was both experiences have been amazing. I've been through a lot with both. So it's been a journey for sure.
So mental being something huge, obviously, in any part of our lives, especially in the sports world. Now talking about support, would you say your wife has been a huge support and role in your success as a athlete, as just a person yourself, showing up every day and doing the amazing things you do?
Oh man, I mean, it's truly been amazing to see the other side of it now, especially now. Like to kind of give you a basis, we've been together since high school. So
Wow.
we've been together.
Congrats.
14 years now. Yeah, thank you. And been married for 4 years. But we literally, like, growing up, it was like all just, 50-50, everything 50-50. And then all of a sudden, like when I was working and she was like taking care of little man at home, it was one thing. I would only see bits and pieces of when I got home. He was all over me, hanging out, whatever. But now it's kind of reversed, where now I'm like the dad, daddy daycare every single day, and then she's going to work, and it's like, man, like, what was I doing this whole time? Like, I mean, I've been, neglecting like what you really, sacrifice and you put into it. So she's truly, amazing. Like, women really, they put up a lot with the kids and do a lot of sacrificing for us. So
For sure.
I mean, hey, a lot of kudos to my wife, and it's truly a blessing.
So what's harder, NBA or taking care of the little one?
Oh man, daddy daycare. So much harder, because it's like you have a moment where you're just like, man, I'm gonna take a little nap real fast, and all of a sudden you wake up and he's like grabbing your hair or like pushing you, like, get up, daddy, and then he's like, all right, come on, man, what you want to do? And he, ripping and running, and he's, yelling and screaming, trying to figure out, is he hungry? Is he wet? What, trying to figure it all out. So yeah, it's a whole different ball game for sure.
I see it with Anthony, all the time. He comes in and it's a from pre-Stella to post, after Stella was born, he's turned into a completely different person for the better, man.
Yep.
And, it's been a tremendous thing to kind of see from the outside, his evolvement or his evolution as a father so far in her life. And I know he would probably be better at telling you about this, but just to hear the stories of him and how, because of COVID, he's been able to spend a lot more time in his daughter's life. Not being a father, but not having my father in my life. It's amazing to hear, stories from both of you on just how important it really is to be an integral part in your child's life and how much that really means to you.
Yep.
Yeah. And, first of all, thank you, bro. But, I think it is important just being able to understand that, being a father, you need to show up, and then also to recognizing, the things that your significant other does do for your child. And
Jenny, we love you.
Yeah, we do love you, baby. Because we have to say that.
Yeah.
Remember,
She listens to every podcast. No,
happy wife, happy life. All right.
That's right.
Is that why I'm divorced? No.
But it's one of those things where it just makes you also appreciate and realize what they're doing. And also too, because, you sit back and you're like, you know what, if I didn't have a partner like this, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things that I'm able to do for my successes. And also, create such a beautiful little person, and generally carve that path to success for them and help them along their way, knowing that they're in great hands with your significant other. So, definitely, like you said, women do deserve a lot of credit, especially when it comes to that. And sometimes, guys, it's an eye opener when you get to experience it, what they experience every day. And it's not easy. It's not.
Yep.
Now, yeah, we have maybe like 10 more minutes. I've been wanting to ask you. I've been excited about this podcast because, your coach spent a lot of time down here in Miami. We got to see him on the sidelines for, many years, and he's a very eccentric person. How has it been playing for Stan Van Gundy?
We don't play for him no more. Well, it was only 1 year.
Okay. How was that? How was that?
It was great. I mean, I learned a lot. It taught me a lot. It definitely made me more, I'd say, mentally stronger for sure. But yeah, no, it was a great experience for sure. That 1 year that I did have with Stan.
Yeah, we saw him on ESPN all those years, man, and it's like being in our house. So it's great to hear that it's reciprocated to his players as well.
So I wanted to ask you too. Obviously the NBA season is coming to end now. We got the NBA finals. Obviously, I don't know if you can say, but if you can, how is that approach now coming into the following season? I know it's going to start like in November. I think it's going to start in November this year.
No, they pushed it back. It won't start until no earlier than January.
Really?
Oh, okay. Wow. So are they going to take a completely different approach now? Is it going to be similar to the bubble thing scenario, or are they going to actually, get people back in the arena? You guys are going to play in your own arenas again, or is that still up in the air, kind of figuring out how that's going to work?
It's still up in the air. I mean, nothing's really guaranteed right now. So we're just it's tough for me because it's been a long off season already, and it's gonna be even longer because I'm waiting till free agency starts because I don't know where I'll be at next. So
hopefully down here, man. We'd love to have you down here playing for us.
I mean, y'all in the finals, so y'all don't need me. Y'all definitely.
I don't know, man. We could always use a little help. We could always use a little help.
So if you did get a call from Miami, would you be happy? Take that?
Oh yeah. No, I'll be. I mean, it's amazing. Play anywhere. I'm just trying to, another experience. That's all I am. I love the journey. I love the journey.
All right, Miami. You already know. Once you're done with the finals, come bring
Pat. If you're listening, Pat. Hopefully you're listening. You can pick this guy up and bring him down here. We'd love to have him. How is that for you? Being in a contract year with everything going on. How are you able to kind of handle all of those ups and downs? I mean, being in a contract year itself has to be a little stressful and a little difficult because, you obviously want to perform at the highest level in general, but definitely you want to get paid the most possible going into that final year of your contract and renewing. How has that been for you with COVID, with everything? How have you been able to kind of stay mentally locked into that?
You know what? While the season was going on for me, it never really fazed me. Because I feel like I was so prepared for this, the season that we had. And then also too, my little man was getting older. So he started I would have him come on the court. He would pass me the ball to shoot the ball. It was stuff that that, the small stuff that really, it meant a lot to me. So I didn't even really pay attention to hey, this is my contract here. I got to put, not saying put pressure on myself, but I got to go out there and perform. But it's I was just having fun with it. And then, as the season got closer towards the end of the season, and then, COVID happened, I was I'll put myself in a great position. So whatever happens, I'm good. I'll be set. So that's why I was truly blessed to, be healthy, play all 66 games that I played in. And I'm just excited and looking forward to whenever free agency starts, I'll be ready to, pick wherever I'm going next.
Awesome, man. Before we wrap things up, I know Menda is going to have a couple more questions for you. One, I want to say thank you again for coming on and sharing your story. It's been amazing to get to know a little more about you and all the amazing things that you have going on. Again, like Menda said, if there's anything we can do to help out with the foundation, we'd be more than happy to help out in any way possible. Really.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You're doing amazing things within your community and that should be, applauded to the full extent. So really anything we can do to help you. Where can people find you? What's your Instagram handle? Do you have a website for the foundation?
Yeah, so Lang Galloway 10 on Instagram, Lang Galloway 10 on Twitter. You're trying to find me on, we'll find the foundation, Langston Galloway Foundation.org. Please go check it out. Ton of, resources for what we're doing, what we have going on, what we're going to be doing. So yeah, please check me out. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, about to go make a donation once we get off of off the
Same here.
podcast here.
Same
For
here.
sure.
Appreciate it.
You guys already please do the same. We would really appreciate it from you guys to help and support what him and his wife are doing. And once again, brother, whenever you have anything, you can let us know personally. We'll put it out on our Instagrams as well, our personal
100%.
ones, on the Sweat It Out podcast as well. So I'm gonna light you up with some quick little questions.
Hope you're ready. Hope you're ready.
All right, number one, we'll start with a little good opener. If you had to pick, now that you're in the training realm, if you had to pick one fitness tool to keep and use only, which one would it be?
I would say my RFR, rear foot elevated. Well, rear foot RFE. My bad. I'm sorry. Rear foot elevated machine.
Hey, getting those split squats in.
Woo!
Squats.
Building those quads and hammies. Love that. I love that.
I'm a leg guy. I love legs.
I love that. That's awesome. You don't hear that very much from guys.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
National Chest Day, right?
Yeah. Every day is chest day in Miami.
Every day.
Yep.
And bicep day too.
Yeah.
Question number 2. The moment you stepped into the basketball arena for the first time in your career, who was that one player that you were like, wow, I can't believe I'm here with this player?
So first game, well, you said first arena, so I'd probably say Melo. Just
my guy.
That's his guy.
I was in New York my first 2 years, and like first couple of days, like Melo's in there, we're playing pickup, and it's like, I've been playing with Melo on the game. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm playing against him in real life. This is crazy. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. Great experience.
I always say, I'm an alumni from Syracuse. I was there around the same time that you were at St. Joe's. And I always say Carmelo gets unfairly dogged so much because he didn't win a championship. But it's like, it's so hard to do that. And, he's such a great.
Still not done yet, though.
I know. Thank God the Blazers. He's been playing with the Blazers, but one of the best scorers I think in NBA history, and he doesn't get enough love.
So, question number 3: what's the craziest and wildest experience you've had in your career so far?
I haven't really had too many crazy experiences or anything like that, but I'd say just I think just hanging out with the teammates. Like, we went on we had like a training camp in the summertime, and we went to Vegas, and you don't really get to hang out with your teammates like that during the year, but we went on like a boat, and we did a couple like some like the not jet. Well, we did have jet skis, but like jet ski.
How are you on the jet ski?
I love jet skis. I can go super
nice
fast.
on it?
So I probably say that. Hang out with
Miami
them
would be your
cool.
place.
Yeah.
So that must have been a crazy experience. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
And
share the rest.
For sure.
So last question, my brother. Wrap things up on a great note. What's the biggest piece of advice you can leave off to all our listeners today to take home with them?
Yeah, no, I keep the same message for everything that I do, for myself and for everybody I come in contact with. Is sacrifice. It's like, how much do you really want to put into what you're doing and sacrifice? So huge. Amen.
Well, we're not gonna hold you up any longer. We know you're pretty busy, so I just want to say one more time, thank you again for coming on the podcast. Mendez, you got anything?
Yeah, brother, we really, really appreciate you coming on here, sharing your stories, sharing what you're doing, the amazing things, that you got going on for you, and the relationship you have with your wife and your child. And, we definitely are supporters. We wish you the best with your future gym and the growth of your foundation. And who knows, maybe we'll see you here in Miami.
I know. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. We're holding out for you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Thank you again. Until next time, guys.
Much love.